Conan O'Brien finally broke his silence on the devastating tragedy that sent shockwaves through Hollywood, the sudden deaths of legendary filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife Michele Singer Reiner, a story that has continued to unfold with heartbreaking new details and emotional revelations that few saw coming. For weeks, Conan had remained quiet as headlines exploded, police investigations intensified, and fans around the world struggled to comprehend how a beloved Hollywood power couple could be taken so violently and so suddenly. But now Conan is speaking, and what he revealed paints a haunting picture of friendship, warning signs, shock, and grief that still hasn't faded. Conan shared that the last time he saw Rob and Michele alive was at his own holiday gathering in mid-December, a warm, joyful evening meant to celebrate the season with close friends, laughter, stories, and the familiar comfort of people who had shared years of memories together. Rob, known for his humor, kindness, and storytelling, was in great spirits that night. Michele was, as always, warm and gracious, checking in on everyone and making sure guests felt welcome. To Conan, nothing about that evening felt like a goodbye. But behind the smiles and holiday cheer, something deeply unsettling was brewing. Conan revealed that their son, Nick, was also at the party, and his behavior was noticeably disturbing. Guests later described him as agitated, tense, pacing, and acting in ways that made people uncomfortable. There was a heated exchange between Nick and Rob that several people overheard, voices raised in frustration before Conan and others attempted to calm the situation. At the time, it seemed like a family disagreement that would cool down. No one imagined it was the final warning sign before tragedy struck. Conan admitted he replayed that night in his head over and over afterward, wondering if something could have been done differently, if anyone could have recognized how dangerous the situation truly was. The next day, the unthinkable happened. Rob Reiner, the man behind some of the most iconic films in Hollywood history, and Michele, his partner of decades, were found in their home, victims of a brutal attack that stunned even veteran investigators. The news broke like a thunderclap across entertainment media. Within hours, the story dominated every platform. Fans refused to believe it. Colleagues were in disbelief. Tributes flooded in from actors, directors, comedians, and political figures who had admired Rob's work and Michele's activism. And then came the most shocking detail of all. Their own son was arrested and charged with both murders. Conan said the moment he learned who was responsible, he felt physically sick. He described it as a level of horror that didn't feel real, like something out of a crime drama rather than real life. A family destroyed in a matter of hours. 2 lives lost, and a son now facing the rest of his life behind bars. He spoke about the strange emotional weight of knowing he had hugged them goodbye just hours before it happened. He said there is something deeply haunting about sharing laughter with people, telling them to drive safe, wishing them happy holidays, and then waking up the next morning to find out they're gone forever. Conan admitted he went into shock afterward, struggling to process the timeline, the violence, and the idea that a normal evening had ended in unimaginable loss. But beyond the tragedy, Conan wanted the world to remember who Rob Reiner truly was. He talked about Rob not just as a filmmaker, but as a storyteller who shaped generations. He reminded audiences that Rob directed some of the most beloved movies of all time, films that defined romance, friendship, comedy, and coming-of-age stories for decades. He spoke about how Rob's ability to jump between genres, from heartfelt drama to absurd comedy, was nearly unmatched in Hollywood. Conan said Rob had a moral center that guided everything he did, in art, in politics, in friendships. He cared deeply about people. He fought for causes he believed in, and he always showed up for those he loved. Michele, Conan said, was equally remarkable. While Rob was often in the spotlight, Michele worked tirelessly behind the scenes in philanthropy, activism, and community projects. She supported women's rights, healthcare initiatives, and social justice efforts for years. She was a fierce advocate and a compassionate listener, someone who made people feel seen. Conan emphasized that their marriage wasn't just a Hollywood partnership, it was a true bond built on respect, shared values, laughter, and deep love. The public response to their deaths has been overwhelming. Celebrities who worked with Rob across decades shared emotional tributes describing him as a mentor, a genius, and one of the kindest men in the business. Actors credited him with changing their lives, directors called him a pioneer, comedians said his humor shaped modern comedy, political leaders praised his activism and civic engagement. Fans revisited his films, posting scenes that made them cry, laugh, and remember why his work mattered so much. But alongside the tragedy came difficult conversations about family conflict, mental health, warning signs, and how tragedies like this can sometimes hide in plain sight. Conan didn't shy away from that part of the story. He acknowledged that while no one wants to imagine violence within a family, it happens more than people realize. He urged viewers to ignore troubling behavior, not to dismiss explosive emotions as just stress, and to take concerns seriously when they arise. He admitted that even now he struggles with guilt, the human instinct to ask what could have changed the outcome, even though he knows the responsibility lies with the person who committed the crime. As the legal case continues to move forward, new details are expected to emerge about what led up to that horrifying night. Prosecutors are reportedly preparing extensive evidence, while investigators dig deeper into family history, past conflicts, and possible mental health struggles. But no matter what the court uncovers, nothing can bring Rob and Michele back. Conan said grief doesn't arrive all at once, it comes in waves. Some days he feels fine, other days something small, like hearing a joke Rob would have loved or seeing a clip from one of his films, hits him like a punch in the chest. He said the hardest part is knowing there will never be another dinner, another party, another long conversation about comedy, film, or life. And yet, Conan believes their legacy will outlive the tragedy. Every time someone watches The Princess Bride and laughs, every time couples quote When Harry Met Sally, every time young filmmakers study Rob's work, every time someone continues Michele's advocacy efforts, their impact lives on. He wants people to remember them not for the way they died, but for how they lived, for the joy they brought, for the art they created, for the love they shared, and for the countless lives they touched. Conan ended his reflection by saying life is heartbreakingly fragile, and moments with the people we love should never be taken for granted. He encouraged everyone watching to reach out to family and friends, to say what needs to be said, and to cherish every ordinary moment, because sometimes those moments become the last ones. The tragedy of Rob Reiner and Michele Singer Reiner is one that Hollywood will never forget, a story of brilliance, love, unimaginable loss, and the painful reality that even the brightest lives can end in darkness. And as the world continues to mourn, Conan's words serve as both a tribute and a reminder of how precious life truly is. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.